Why play Sion Top? Well, he has infinitely scaling health, he brings very strong engage, he has great AoE damage and lockdown, and he's an amazing split pusher. However, he is weaker in the laning phase, and he can struggle into strong duelists. Sion's passive is when he dies, he briefly enters stasis and then reanimates into a frenzy. During this time, he goes back up to full health, but it rapidly decays. He can only move and attack, and he gains a large amount of attack speed, lifesteal, and his attack steal bonus damage. Also, all of his abilities are replaced with one cast of Death Surge, which gives him a massive burst of movement speed. Sion's Q causes him to stand in place and charge up the ability. While charging over 2 seconds, the ability's range, knock-up duration, stun duration, and damage are all increased. Upon release, he deals damage in the area and slows all enemies hit. However, if the ability was charged for at least 1 second, when he slams his axe down, he deals damage to enemies hit, then knocks them up and stuns them. Sion's W has a passive, where he gains 4 bonus permanent health whenever he kills an enemy, and he gets 15 whenever it's a large enemy or takes down an enemy champion. The active grants himself a shield which scales with his max health, and this ability can be recast to consume the shield to deal damage to nearby enemies in a circle around him. Sion's E is a straight line skill shot which deals damage to the first target hit, slows them, and reduces their armor. If the target was a monster or minion, it knocks them back and stuns them, and enemies hit by this minion are dealt damage and slowed. Sion's ultimate causes him to start charging in a direction towards your cursor. During this time, he ramps up movement speed and stops when hitting an enemy champion or terrain. Enemies hit are dealt damage, slowed, and briefly stunned. For combos, start W into E and Q. Charge Q as long as you can before walking up, exploding your shield and attacking. Your all-in is to ultimate and use W while running. Upon impact, hold down Q for as long as possible before detonating your W, use E, then attack away. For matchups, Sion plays very well into ranged top laners as he easily gets onto them as the game goes on. However, he can struggle against champions who can easily get on him and stay on him. For runes, take this, Grasp makes you even tankier. For build order, start Shield and Pot into a Sunfire and tier 2 boots. From here, an Unending Despair and Thornmail are great pickups before finishing a build with any of these as needed. For skill order, start Q then W then E before maxing Q then W then E, taking ult whenever you can. For summoner spells, take Flash and Teleport. Starting the game, you're looking to farm hard and scale into a tanky, annoying split pusher. If you're against a poke laner, it's all about relying on Doran's shield and second wind to stay healthy. Let the wave push to you, farm as much as possible, and when you hit level 6, if your jungler ganks, you can easily go in. Otherwise, if you're against a tankier opponent or someone who outscales you, you want to look for constant Qs and Es. Bully their low mobility and kill them with ult when you get it. Enter in the mid game, take tower and split push. Enemy teams have to dedicate so many resources to stop you from split pushing, it's just unfair. Entering late game team fights, you almost always want to be split pushing and then collapse onto the fight. Use your ultimate to engage by running down the lane or running through the river. Landing your ultimate into a fully charged Q is just a great way to start most fights. Be the tanky frontline, absorbing as many cooldowns as possible for insane value, and even if killed, you just keep going.